That's in an abandoned restaurant.
Yeah.
But it's no longer abandoned.
No.
You've got to get out of there. But
we were allowed in there. We should say that. Somebody else just like squatting.
It was an old restaurant, and then it closed down.
I thought you meant it was like derelict.
Yeah.
We
just started off by saying that we were allowed in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So please don't arrest us for smoking, because we weren't. We were allowed in there.
Why don't you leave me?
Today I'm here with the Collide Band, an alternative rock band from Derbyshire. How you doing, guys?
Yeah,
all right?
Good. Yeah.
Awesome. So the first thing I'm going to ask, is kind of what I ask a lot of people, is how did you meet?
School. We met.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like a rock school sort of program where they put us together out of. Oh, I want to be the drummer. I'm the guitarist, but they didn't let me. You're the drummer now.
Sorry.
Yeah, and they were just formed from that.
We just carried on playing, and here we are.
Yeah, that's cool. So it came a long way, to be fair then. Yeah, just stuck with each other. And what about the name? Where's that came from?
Can we remember?
We had some horrible names to start off with.
Yeah.
Like Work in Progress was one of them.
Okay.
Really?
Trying to be clever there.
I just think it arose from the abyss, that name.
Yeah.
It's just like a random name then.
Yeah.
No meaning behind it.
Not really.
We can make a meaning if we collided together.
Oh, that's cute. That's very cute.
Yeah.
That works. That's a good.
We'll go with that from now on.
Yeah, you can say that in the future. We'll cut the first bit out and put that there instead.
Yeah.
So, in terms of where did you guys start? Like, what kind of happened? Like, you know, what?
Well, us three, me and Riley, have been together since we were 12, and then Alfie joined later, after all the rubbish names, fortunately for him.
Yeah.
And because our first gig we played when we were literally 12 years old, so, I mean, just like locally, I think we're really lucky. We've got quite a nice local area that's very like big on live music, so people gave us gigs and we played them, and they weren't always good, but they got better.
Yeah.
Better and better. You know, we went from playing crowds of nothing to playing Why Not, which was pretty impressive.
That is awesome. How did that feel? Like being up on the stage and.
It was very exciting. It felt surreal. And Dean Jackson from the BBC, who gave us that gig at Why Not, he said to us before, when you're up there, just try and take a moment just to actually just look out and just appreciate it. And it was difficult to do because after it, it went so quickly. But it was a real privilege, and it was a lot of fun. Big thing for all of us.
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to be nervous, and then I got out there because I didn't think anyone was there. I came out and there was about 2,000 people screaming in my face, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to be sick."
That's amazing. That is so amazing. I mean, the rush you must have got from that must have been absolutely crazy. And like, I know you guys obviously do quite a lot of gigs. Like, is that sort of something that you're trying to do? Is it something that you enjoy? Is that a big part of your music band career?
Yeah, well, for me, my favourite bit about being in the Collide is getting to perform live. Like that's why I do it. Like, I really love interacting people with and being on stage. I think part of our sound is like massive with our live performance, because we are like, before we were recording artists, we were live performers. I think if you want to like see the Collide at its best, you've got to come and see us live.
Yeah, that is a sign there, isn't it? Basically, you got to go and see them live to see them at their best point. Get in while you can, you know. So what would you say up until now has kind of been the highlight? Would you say it's the Why Not, or what's been the highlight of your?
I'd say
Why Not.
Why Not in the Isle of Wight? The Isle of Wight was just fun. It was like to play and to just walk around.
Just a good trip.
It was a great trip, and then Why Not was just unbelievable. I can't even really remember it.
It doesn't feel real, does it?
It doesn't feel. It's very just. It's in my head, but it's
not
like,
totally convinced.
It's like I think I'm imagining it somewhere.
Yeah, that is amazing. I to be fair, I don't blame you. Like, if I was in front of that many people, I'd be like, oh my god, it's all rushed past. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, do you guys do you have like a I say this to everyone at the moment. Do you have like a sort of ritual thing that you might do before a performance?
Yeah,
Me and Alfie have a ritual.
yeah, which is basically I'll be completely fine, and then Annabelle will come up to me and go, "I'm really nervous," and then I'll go, "I'm really nervous now as well," and that tends to be our little like
So we just
ritual.
like to freak each other out
Yeah.
on stage, basically.
Yeah,
And you guys are just fine then, you two. Just...
Me and I just like, ready?
I get nervous, but I now I've heard that story. I'm now conscious of going up to other people and to freak everybody else out.
I think it's all right to have nerves. I think
Oh, yeah.
having nerves is like the biggest part of what's going to make you like amazing. You know, you have the nerves, and then you go up and you try to do the best that you can. And boom, it turns into excitement and
Yeah, blood pumping.
everything else. Yeah, exactly.
the nerves become adrenaline, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm really ready to go on stage now."
Yeah, exactly. So you've been. How long have you been doing music for? Like as a band?
Since I've
6 years.
Since 2017, about.
Yeah.
Would be,
But then
Oh, no.
after COVID,
My maths
like
went off there.
the songs in our set now, some of them like sort of straight after COVID is when, 2021 is when we sort of started writing and then recording the next year and stuff. So
yeah,
As a proper band, 2021, 2022.
yeah.
Would you say COVID was kind of difficult for you guys in terms of not having many gigs?
I think it was quite good.
I only had like 2 band practices with you guys before COVID, and then after COVID it was like, we just kind of carried on, and you'd written Venus Woman, and we turned
I
it
think
into
it was a good. Do you want? Because
It let
I think
us-
we're going to say the same thing.
It let
here,
us
right?
progress a lot as musicians for just sitting inside all day playing our instruments.
yeah.
Because I think it let us grow on our own, so we could come together and be that one driving
Because
force.
we had literally 2 years of being able to practice straight,
That's
so
good.
we all kind of collectively got a bit better.
It's good. It gives you time to kind of practice. I mean, all that time, you have so much time to practice.
Not a lot of time to join school Zoom meetings.
No.
Don't know how
Play a bit of guitar instead and a bit of singing and stuff like that. So actually, I was going to speak about Venus Woman. In simple, what is it about?
Well, I wrote it during lockdown, like at a time in my life where I wasn't a very confident person, and for me, I just wanted to create a character that epitomised everything that I want to be, and I think I've always felt like I take up too much space as a person. I think that's such like a resounding issue for a lot of teenagers, especially if you grow up with like social media and stuff, and media pushes this like image on you that you just feel so unattainable. So I guess it's about embodying who you are and not being apologetic for it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a proper good message, that.
Yeah.
So within your music, do you try and provide a message? Is there any like hidden meanings behind it to kind of show everyone while they listen to it?
For me, it is just like that. It's just being yourself. I don't tend to write love songs and stuff like that, because that's not what I feel really strongly about. Like I'd really like to write something that makes people feel like they're seen and like feel accepted at shows and stuff. Like I want to write something that has not a total like political message, but like I want to write something that has some sort of impact, or just to make people feel comfortable about who they are and like create a shared experience.
That's awesome, yeah. So when you're making this music, what kind of process goes behind it? What is the process that you go through? Maybe the lyrics, the instrumental side?
it does,
Got a
yeah.
massive haircut.
Let's try not to laugh. It does vary, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's some cases where, for instance, Annabelle will have like a full song and brings it to a practice, and then we just flesh it out. But quite a lot of time, it's that somebody has an idea of something, like one of these guys has a chorus or something, and then we just go from there. But no, it usually starts with somebody's got something, and it just sort of barrel rolls, and then we just keep going. Lyrically, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But that's, kind of practices, we usually do that, get a sort of a song structure, and then by the next practice, we then, maybe Annabelle's got some lyrics by then or something, and then we start to just put it together. But no, it varies.
Yeah, I think it has to, because you can't really have a set kind of plan, because it all comes from the brain, really, doesn't it? It's all kind of, I think a lot of people I've spoken to says kind of like a freestyle. You just think of some lyrics, maybe write some lyrics, or do the instrumental first and just mash it all together, perfect it, and there you go. Really.
I think we never sit down and we're like, we're going to write a song today.
Yeah.
It just kind of happened. I think the nice thing about being in this band is it's never just one person that writes the songs. There's a bit of all of us in kind of everything that we make, which is nice.
Yeah, so it's like a team effort. There's never a time that you might be sort of left out. Would you say you guys kind of motivate each other to carry on and push each
I
other?
think so. Yeah. Well, I think when we do write songs, it's nice when someone might have a riff and then another person might write a chorus because it's collaborative, isn't it? So that I find that motivates me because it's nice to know other people appreciate ideas. So yeah.
You all like to pull faces at each other whilst we're writing.
Yeah. Either good or bad
Like,
face.
it's a totally silent writing process. No one's involved. He's like, just go like.
You can't tell his face because I'm loving this face. It's the same as his "this is rubbish" face. It's like, I'm really sorry or I'm really happy.
Yeah, you can never tell.
It's that.
Yeah, that might be a bit of a roadblock.
Yeah.
I was going to say, in terms of like roadblocks, maybe not that one, but what is a difficult time or maybe the funniest time you might have had to kind of overcome throughout your music career?
Well,
That's a continuous struggle.
yeah.
Is just being at school and having to sit A levels.
It's just a constant thing of how do you like be in a band and then sit some really important exams, and how do you keep up academically? And because obviously teachers are not, some teachers think it's great and other teachers just think that you're wasting your time, which is really just a struggle.
Yeah.
And definitely the recent one that we've had was the floods. That was a road. Our town a while ago flooded quite badly down at the bottom where our practice room was, and our practice room got flooded with all the equipment still in it, including mainly his drum kit, my amp and his amp as well. So
Nothing of mine.
yeah, because you took all your stuff home the day before.
That's lucky. You must have seen it coming.
Just on the weather.
I had a premonition.
Yeah, so that is got to be a big kind of hit, like especially something like that. You can't even do anything about that. That's.
Yeah, but, I mean, we had a gig like a couple of days after that, and it
Was it the day
motivated
after?
me a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
To just like.
We got to carry on.
Through it,
Yeah, because you can't just
Sit there and be
give up.
sad. Yeah, you can't sit there and be sad. You gotta find ways around it.
Yeah.
We made that work, and then we sort of got back on our feet, and stuff is carrying on.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
We'll get back
Yeah,
to
Getting
it.
back.
practicing in an abandoned restaurant.
Yeah.
But it's no longer abandoned.
No,
so
it is.
you've got to get out of there. But
We were allowed in there.
We
should
were
say
allowed
this.
in there.
we were
Okay.
just like squatting.
I thought you were just squatting,
Yeah.
taking everything in there and just playing.
No, it was an old restaurant, and then it closed down. And I work in the pub across the way, and I just asked the landlady if we could use this basically abandoned restaurant to practice in the meantime.
I thought you meant it was like derelict. And
Yeah.
everything was falling
We just
down.
broke
Started off by saying that we were allowed in there.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing to clear up. Yeah.
So please don't arrest us for smoking, because we were allowed in there.
yeah, but I think we've got to get out now. There's actual customers in there.
Yeah.
Bit of a disruption.
You can play for the customers, get a little bit of
Kind
a
of wait
stage.
tables at the same time.
Yeah.
The floods were, me and Riley were sat in sixth form, and Riley's dad called him, and then basically what
It was like,
there's a bit.
it's flooded. He was like, it's up to my knees.
we walked out of school, and where our school is, like near our practice room, we just walked down the road, turned the corner, and it was just all the houses were flooded, the car park, and then we just kind of stood there and were like, well, what?
We tried to get through.
We tried to get through, jump across the water, but it was just too deep.
Yeah.
So,
I remember Riley was like, "There's a foot of water," and I was like, "All right, he probably thinks a foot's a foot." Do you know what I mean? I was like, "Don't worry, mate. Drum kit will be fine." It
Yeah.
went down there. I was like, "Oh, okay." This is more than a foot.
yeah.
It was quite bad.
It was really bad. And then my dad and Riley's dad went down and sent some photos, and it was just
It was like a river.
It was like a river.
It was like the Derwent. It was terrible.
It just all of it had just come out, and because it wasn't just our practice room,
There's
either.
loads of other businesses.
It was the businesses. There was a joinery, a blacksmith. It was just.
That's why we're lucky. It wasn't our house, and it's not our livelihood.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, imagine it was sort of like a business you had for years, like a family business, and it just gets flooded. That'd be awful, wouldn't it? So, on a completely different basis now, I'm going to ask a completely different question. Enough of the sad kind of stuff.
Come on.
In the next 6 months, where can we see ourselves, and what can we see from you?
Hopefully Glastonbury. That would be lovely.
We can definitely see at least 2 new singles.
Yes.
Well, we know you're going to see some festivals. Can't tell you all of them yet.
No.
But hopefully some major festivals which we're going to book.
Yeah.
Promoters, you know where we are.
Yeah.
I'm breaking the fourth wall. And you're going to see us pass our A levels.
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah, we can see past your A levels.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Yeah, not you.
No, you're in the year below. So even though he's the same age as us, but he went to college and then came back. It's very confusing. I don't want to bore the people watching this with it. But
Singles and gigs.
Singles and gigs.
Yeah, singles and gigs, lots of them.
And the first single shall be out on the 2nd of February.
Yes, it's
2nd
called
of
Lucky.
Feb.
Pre-save it now.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Bit of plugging.
Quite ironic. It's
Yeah.
a comedy element.
Yeah.
Oh, that was well thought about there.
Even though we wrote it well
About
before
6
the floods.
months.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw it coming.
That
Yeah.
doesn't need to be revealed.
No,
Okay.
we'll just link it in. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of cutting and snipping in this. Oh my god, what am I saying? So on the basis of future again, what about what is your end goal? Like, what would you want? Your biggest dream or aspiration? What is it?
Pyramid stage of Glastonbury, or supporting the Foo Fighters.
My second one is Alex on Jules Holland.
Oh,
That's
yes.
what I personally want to do.
I kind of want to go on like Jimmy Fallon or something as well, one of the American.
I'll do the late night circuit.
You know when they do they let them set up their own kind of music videos. That would be really fun to just be on TV.
But yeah, Pyramid Stage, Glastonbury, that's the end goal.
Main stage Isle of Wight as well would be really fun. Just main stage everywhere would be amazing.
Just a world tour.
Just for domination.
Run for president. Just gonna get a bit of a hand.
Make a film out of it.
Biopic as well. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So I think we've learned quite a lot about the Collide story. Thanks a lot for being here, guys.
No problem.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, no worries at all. Thank you.
Thank you.